We've all been there, late at night, scrolling through a feed of perfect vacations and flawless faces. It's a powerful pull, the feeling that everyone else is living a better life. But what if the pressure to keep up, just for one single night, cost you the next 10 years of your existence? That's the question Guy De Maupassant explored over a century ago in his story, The Necklace. Our main character is Mathilde Loisel. She dreams of high society luxury and rooms filled with silk, but her reality is a world away. She is the wife of a modest clerk, living in a plain apartment she finds embarrassing. Then, a rare opportunity arrives. Her husband brings home a VIP invitation to a grand ball hosted by the Ministry of Education. He thinks she'll be thrilled. Instead, Mathilde throws the invitation aside. She refuses to go because she doesn't have a dress that looks expensive enough. Even with a huge opportunity in her hands, Mathilde can only focus on the image she's projecting. For her, the experience has no value if she can't make others believe she belongs to a higher class. To make her happy, her husband makes a massive sacrifice. He gives her 400 francs he had been saving for a hunting gun, represented by these gold coins, so she can buy a proper gown. The dress is beautiful, meeting the exact standard of the wealthy elite. But even then, Mathilde feels exposed. She tells her husband that a fine dress looks hollow without jewels to finish the look. Desperate to look the part, she visits her wealthy friend, Madame Forestier, and borrows a dazzling diamond necklace. With the gems around her neck, the transformation is finished. Mathilde has successfully applied her own version of a fake filter, trading her authentic life for a few hours of temporary social validation. At the ball, the illusion is a triumph. Mathilde is admired, celebrated, and finally feels like she has reached the status she always wanted. But as she returns home and looks in the mirror one last time, the dream shatters. Her hand goes to her throat, and she realizes the borrowed necklace is gone. Panic takes over. Her husband retraces every step, searching the dark cobblestone streets, police stations, and cab offices. But the necklace has vanished. They face a choice: tell the truth or hide the accident. Driven by pride, they lie. They tell Madame Forestier the clasp is broken to buy time, while they secretly look for a way to replace the jewelry. Losing the necklace was unfortunate, but their refusal to be honest is the real disaster. That single decision to protect her image traps them in a debt that ruins their lives. They find a replacement, but the price is staggering: 36,000 francs. This bar shows the gap between what they had and what they owe. Loisel uses his 18,000 franc inheritance and borrows the rest at high interest, burying them in debt. Over the next 10 years, the toll is visible. Mathilde is forced into hard labor, scrubbing dirty floors, washing heavy laundry by hand, and haggling for every penny. Her husband works just as hard, taking on grueling night shifts and extra clerical work just to keep up with the interest payments. A decade of exhaustion finally clears the massive debt. But their success holds a deep irony. The years of hard labor withered the very beauty and grace that Mathilde had sacrificed her future to display. 10 years later, a hardened, aged Mathilde runs into Madame Forestier in a park. Her friend is still youthful and doesn't recognize the weary woman standing before her. Finally free of the debt, Mathilde confesses everything. She tells her friend how she lost the necklace and spent 10 years in poverty to pay for the replacement. But the truth is even more painful. Madame Forestier reveals that her original necklace was a fake. It was made of imitation stones, worth no more than 500 francs. Mathilde gave up 10 years of her real life, her youth, and her health to pay for an illusion that was never worth more than pennies. When you're writing your exam answers, focus on the idea of contentment. Contrast Mathilde's obsession with what she lacks against her husband's selfless support. A major mistake is saying her life changed just because she lost a piece of jewelry. On your exam, explain that her pride and her refusal to be honest are what actually trapped them in 10 years of poverty. Think back to the scrolling phone screen. The story is a warning about the gap between what we see on the surface and what is actually real. The final takeaway is simple. Real happiness and success come from being honest with yourself and others, not from the desperate effort to maintain a fake image.